So I'm going to continue the story, I think, is the thing to do here. The Diamond Forge. So my current theory... Oh, tap. There you go. Thank you. Okay, yeah, we can do that. I got a magical weapon with butterflies on it. Because my friends were like, my pony's friends were like, let's look at all the weapons that are special. And they were just showing off cool ones, and I was like, oh, that one's really pretty. And they're like, oh, we can get you that one. Because actually, I had, as you can see here, I had actually unlocked getting that fight with Ravana, which is how you get that special. Yes, it's the Ravana glowy sword. I was like, oh, there's butterflies on it. Glowy butterflies, I like it. And they're like, okay, we'll get you that, Lauren. And so we fought Ravana a few times for me to get a pony. And by that, I do mean a bird. Yes! The music is so pretty. It's this like violin, like, oh, it's so pretty. I don't know. We didn't do phase 2 because it didn't happen. But the phase 1 music is super pretty. It's like all like fiddle violin awesomeness. It's very cool stuff. So, but we did that, and they got me the stuff to make the sword, and then they made me the sword. And then I bought Toxic Fur. Thank you for following. Let me show you. Hi, Forest of Seasons. Hello. Okay, look at my inventory. I mean, there's like a ton of dye. I bought all of the dye that was at my friend's place. Like, there's a lot of dye. So just ignore the fact that there's a ton of dye right now. And some clothes that I got sent, and I still need to put stuff in my glamour chest. But there's also like some openings. I did the, hold on. No, there's a way to do it. No. Okay, well, I went through my armory chest and got rid of a few things. Not everything. I just started doing that when it was getting to be 8, and I was like, you know, I should probably start streaming like I'm supposed to and deal with that later. So, oh man. Well, I'm glad that you're here to hang out with us, Forest of Seasons. Hopefully you've got some time to relax. I'm glad that the scheduling worked out. Yeah. I like my new outfit. It's not normally what I would have set out to make, but I was just playing with the pieces that I had, and I was like, okay, that person is snazzy. That's amazing. We got a turtle here. Oh man. But yeah, like, hold on. No, I can do this. Look. Do you see how cool my outfit is? Look at this. I did a good job. You should be proud of me. Mari, hi. Thank you. And welcome. Yeah, I'm hoping to do more like adventuring outfit looking stuff. This is a little more like casterly or something that I would normally make, but there is a snowman behind me. If I could, I would backflip over the snowman. But I don't have that option. Look at my butterflies. Do you see my butterflies? I'm very excited about this. So yeah, I feel classy. It feels really pretty. So, oh my gosh. You look so serious on top of your egg with a choke baby. Amazing. So good. So I feel like the first part of the streams is generally like, let's like look at our silly outfits and jump around and talk to people some. Catch up on whatever adventures I might have had. And then, yeah, show off ponies and stuff. Yeah. So that's, I mean, like, does that feel right? Like, are you guys like, do you feel caught up on the adventures of Lauren now? You're like, ah, yes, now I know why she looks different and what cool things she did. Some cool names. I saw somebody whose name was Uwu, and I was like, oh my god, internet. I will continue to point out names that I see everywhere I see names. Why does that one have a spinny? Lorena, do you do recycling? Is that what this is all about? Oh, I guess that is the way I'm supposed to go. That's right, Forest of Seasons. Okay, so that's an important question. I'm glad you asked, Forest of Seasons. Hold on. See if I can figure out where I'm supposed to be going. Where are my friends? Where am I supposed to go? Where's the Diamond Forge? Tataru! Do I go back here? I bet I go back here. We do need to come up with background lore for my character because she doesn't have any. Okay, so Tataru must be around here. No? Where are you? Defeated by... So I have 2 real nemesis. One of them is... Okay, 3. Gravity, inventory management, and maps. But I'm better than I used to be. So, Forest of Seasons. Final Fantasy XIV has a really outstanding story once you get to the first expansion, Heavensward, which has such good characterization. I cried when a character that I loved died. Oh, hey, Dosmea! Oh, I was going to run around in circles, but that's okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to get. Okay, well, I'm just going to jump on things because this game lets me jump on things. But yeah, so there's lore behind the scenes, but there's also like a story that happens. And I am actually about to get to, or somewhat close to getting to the next expansion called Stormblood. My prediction for what's going to happen in Stormblood is, oh, is this the forge? I might as well tell you all in case I didn't tell you last time, which I don't know if I did. So I've been thinking of, oh my god, there's a car. The best pony of all. So there's an evil empire, right? And they've been pretty boring so far because the first section of the game 2.0 that I played was not very inspiring. And everything in it was not very inspiring. So when they're like, there's an empire, I'm like, snooze. They did a few things that were interesting with the empire. A few things there, and then they did some things in Heavensward, which I'm wrapping up, or I guess just wrapped up, that were interesting. But the evil empire has taken over a bunch of, like, the world because they're an empire. They're taking over. That's what being an empire means. Like, you assimilate other people, you take them over. Like, you are a country and then you become an empire once you've like absorbed other countries. So there's a group of people who lost their home because they had a mad king like way back when, and then the empire was like, we're gonna take over, and they're like, that might actually be better than our mad king. It might have actually been better, but that doesn't mean it was good. So a lot of them are here, like, there are refugees from that place, and they're kind of rising up as a rebellion, like planning, because they don't get treated super well in the place that they went to, as in the real world. Refugees are often not treated very well in the places that they go to try not to die. And so, okay, well, Dosmea knows the history of the world better than I do. I actually had a friend kind of explain some of this to me recently. But I might not have fully grasped it all. But we've been hanging out with the rebels somewhat. And there's some shenanigans going on because there's like existential bad guys who are like manipulating politics. But putting the existential bad guys away because I don't like them. It does seem as though we are building towards the rebellion, the Alamegan rebellion against the Garlean Empire's occupation. So it's going to be a rebellion against an evil empire story, which is a kind of story that I really like. But so Forest of Seasons, the stuff that I'm telling you right now is not something that I think I necessarily need to know where I am at this point in the game. I think that that's something that will be explained to me because when the story that I just finished, so it's kind of like Final Fantasy XIV is like a series of games. And 2.0, which is the first game in the series, is not good. 3.0, which is Heavensward, is a good game that has to do with like politics of like basically like Elven French Catholicism versus the dragons they've been at war with for 1,000 years. And there's a lot of internal politicking going on and backstabbing and like all sorts of shenanigans that aren't good or healthy or safe. And a lot of it has to do with Learning to focus less on revenge and more on stopping future pain. And it's really good. It's really good stuff. I really, really, really liked it. But that story is wrapped up mostly. We've taken lessons away from it. Our characters have grown and changed some. And now we're ramping up to Stormblood. I don't know what Stormblood is because I haven't played this game before. But it does seem very much as though we are getting involved with this rebellion, because we have a couple of Alamegans in the story, and they have, well, one of them has popped up just in time for this. I don't like her at all. I call her Hot Pants. If you see her design, you'll understand why. But also I don't like her, and that's why thanks, Blue Glass. Yeah, well, the thing is that the Empire was really boring before, although towards the end of Heavensward, we actually went to the floating continent, which was like, I arrived and I was like, oh, this is the floating continent. Are there going to be annoying teleportation puzzles? And there were. It was very much Final Fantasy VI without being Final Fantasy VI. It's really nicely done. I don't like Ida. I'm sorry. I call her Hot Pants. It's possible that she'll grow on me, but I started in Gridania, and so it was all her and Papalymo's bad, like, stupid attempts at humor. And I don't like comedy most of the time. I like seriousness. So I should have had... It would have been really nice if I'd had, like, a sassy sass pants instead. Yeah, I'm willing to give them a chance with the new writers, because the new writers are much, much better than the old writers, and I get that. But I'm wondering if we're going to see more of Roban, because he's Alamegan, and the Alamegan resistance is important to him, but he also kind of helps run one of the other countries now. So he probably won't be able to take part in this resistance, but that seems like something that they'll address. We don't have any other Alamegan characters that I can think of offhand. Tiana, thank you for following. Welcome. So Lauren recaps what she knows of Final Fantasy XIV going into Stormblood-ish. But since we've done so much of what there is to do with the Ishgardian people, like, we have to move on to a different part of the world. And frankly, the Gridania is not very interesting. Limsa, I know almost nothing about, except that all of my friends think Merlwyb is attractive, so they are all pirates. Flutibot is here to cheer you on and welcome you to the community. What was I saying? I was talking about... Oh, yes, and we've done so much with Ilda that I feel like they're not going to focus on Ilda. So really the only option we have is to go somewhere else. And Alamingo is a place that we know a little bit about. We have some character connections to. The plot is obviously taking us there. I did remember her name. Okay, my friends really like her. Okay, Nanamo is the leader of Ilda. The Naimo bars. I did call her that for a while, but I do really like her. So I don't know how I feel about continuing to call her a ridiculous name. And then, like, who even knows what the pretty lady from Gridania's name is? I have no idea. I think she's the prettiest of the leaders, but I don't remember her name, and I don't really know much about her, except that my friend who really likes the story thinks that she's cool. But they all like Merlwyb, because my friends like... All of my friends like that kind of... Oh, I've gotten lost trying to find my way around here before. Consena. Okay, yeah, see, like, I wouldn't recognize that name. Yeah, so right now, we are kind of sort of trying to figure out what our involvement is going to be like with this rebellion. And what's going to happen. The existential bad guys, who I call the basement goths, they are the Asians. I hate them. And I don't, like... I hate... Like, there's bad guys that you hate, and you know that you're supposed to hate them. And then there's bad guys that, like, you hate in a way that's not what they intend, and that's how I am with the Asians. Yeah, I'm sorry that they didn't do more, and I keep hoping they're going to do more with what went on with So Nanamo, who we're talking about here, who leads one of the big city-states, she like, there was an assassination attempt. It was a whole long thing. She was trying to step down to, what is it? It's a hierarchy, really. Rule of the wealthy, I think. Ilberd is an interesting place. It's basically capitalism, the city-state, which doesn't work super well. Yeah, so she tried to step down as being in charge and like turn it into like being like a properly like democratic place. But that didn't go well. There was an assassination attempt. It was a whole thing. Yeah, I guess the difference between Hojo and Genesis is the difference between Nidhogg and the Ascians. Like, when Nidhogg shows up, which, by the way, the Ascians gave the leader of the rebellion a popsicle with Nidhogg's dragon eyes in it. Oh my god, okay. So Elspeth, who is, I think, is that Dumbland, is dressed as the character I call Hot Pants. Very, very, very well done. The dance really makes it. Yeah, I didn't even notice because I was busy thinking about how much I hate Nidhogg. But Nidhogg I'm supposed to hate. Nidhogg is like, I'm a bad guy who's doing awful things for reasons that you both understand and completely disagree with. And that's good. That's great. I have this reaction to Nidhogg showing up, or things related to Nidhogg showing up. The Ascians, I don't have that reaction to. All right, are we? You can't make me new clothes, Tataru. You make everyone else new clothes. What's going on? This is mysterious music. What are we doing? Wait, why is she making me an outfit? It's okay, Forest of Seasons. The rest of us, because I just started streaming this, we've all kind of wound up I'm having to share my like several years of playing this without streaming it, so I'm like brain dumping my thoughts and feelings about things. And everybody else is filling in the gaps of things or marveling at the stupid names I call things. The rest of this, like, you'll figure out as you go, because I figured it out as I went, and I'm doing so now. Alright, so Tataru is basically the administrative assistant for my superhero league. Here's Hot Pants! I mean, I've never played an MMO before. I only started playing this game because my friends play it and I moved far away from them and I wanted to do something with them. But then it turns out eventually, after 2 years of playing through a part of the game that was not very interesting, I got to Heavensward and it was very interesting. So we already fixed the problems with the French Catholics. We spent an entire game basically playing through their political problems.
Did we miss anything?
Oh, I need to turn the volume up, because I turned it down so that I could hear my friends over Discord. Hold on. We're going to turn this back up. There, that should be more audible for all of you. No, actually, we took down the Pope. We took down the Pope and his bastard son, who is the most perfect character ever to exist. Ask anyone who has played this game to talk to you about Emmerich. Yes, so the Pope's bastard son has been elected to be in charge of French Catholic Elftown. The Pope was bad. So yes, the Pope was trying to become God. It was just generally not a good thing. And then they killed everyone's favorite, like, comic relief character, died tragically. It was amazing. There were other characters that I thought were going to die in Heavensward who miraculously didn't. One death I called and you kind of knew that character was going to die, and then at the end that character sacrifices themselves very dramatically. But the, like, lovable, everybody loves them comic relief character died kind of like It wasn't like out of the blue where you're like, that's a cheap shot. You're just like, I would not have thought that would be the character that died. So that's my little wind-up toy, is that character, because we all love him a lot. He's great. So it's nice to know that, like, when I'm like, Emmerich is a perfect person, and everyone's like, yes, let's tell you about how perfect Emmerich is. And I'm like, I love Horschfont and I'm crying. Everyone's like, we're gonna cry with you. Like, it's nice to know that in some ways my experience with that has been pretty representative of what the Final Fantasy XIV players' experience in general tends to be.
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Urianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Urianger went from being the most boring scion to, like, interesting. Because he was, like, triple crossing, doing, like, super, like, long con planning, like, super intricate stuff to, like, basically thread a needle of trying to save multiple worlds through time and space. It was actually pretty cool. So, Urianger, I will stop bad-mouthing him. I will still make fun of him, but there is a difference. You know? So Alphinaud here was basically like our perspective character for the previous, for Heavensward, which I've told you is we're wrapping up. His twin sister has recently stepped into the story, and I'm pretty sure she's going to take over his role because he's grown a whole lot. From everything going wrong because of his hubris to him actually, like, growing and evolving into, like, having the potential to be a really, like, good and relatively mature leader for his age. So now it's time for his sister to grow up, and also she's a red mage, and I'm a red mage, and I love red mages, so it's great. Apparently when she pulled that sword out, that was the reveal that red mage was going to be added in Stormblood. Very exciting. I was told this after the fact. So...
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphinaud, so you may dispense with the preamble.
That's his twin sister, can you tell? She's making fun of him. It's nice that they no longer dress identically.
Thank you, Elisée. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the warriors of darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
That's a good point. Compare this Alphinaud to the Alphinaud that we saw before Heavensward. He's... like, this is mature and intelligent. And reasonable, and, like, he's not rising to his sister's baiting. Like, he's... like, our boy's grown up. He's still tiny. He's shorter than me now that I'm no longer a Lalafell. We could make a Final Fantasy XIV specific drama queen scale. Yeah, we could do that if we wanted to. Have to figure out who goes on it. Estinian goes on it. Especially him, like, tromping off like Cain at the end. Oh, Estinian. I feel like Ishgard has many dramatic souls in it. But yeah, we could put together a drama queen scale. For anyone who's following me for the first time because you like Final Fantasy XIV and you don't know the context of the drama queen scale, it is a little graph that goes at the bottom of the screen. We'll have to figure out where it'll fit on this one. But we just, like, figure out who's the most dramatic characters and put them down. And as they become more dramatic, we can scoot them towards the end. So we can figure out where that goes. But so that's perhaps something that I'll try to think of going, like, maybe after this stream, I'll try to figure out what that would look like and get character portraits for the characters I need to put on that. So who are we going to elect?
Oh, then the decision seems clear.
You don't actually know
no one else has shown any
here.
enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
Let's say, why are you giving him such a hard time? I hope he continues to not rise to it. That Mega Man D, thank you for following and welcome. Welcome to Lauren Plays Final Fantasy XIV and talks about lots of things. Oh man, if Krile thinks
I
this is a
did
good
not
idea.
mean to... That was not my intention.
I actually believe him that was not his intention. I wonder who he was
As my
going
tenure
to.
as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
I love you, Alphinaud. So his tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves led to us thinking that every single one of his friends died. All of these characters, like, have, with the exception of, like, 1 or 2, like, we thought they all died as a result of that. Like, a country fell. It was really bad. It was a really bad thing, and it was because Alphinaud thought that he could be a leader. And who allowed a 16-year-old to start his own, like, military squadron and stuff? Like, it was not a good decision. And I don't blame him because, again, he's a kid under a lot of pressure because his grandfather literally saved the entire planet, I think, recently. Somewhat recently. And so he, like, has these big shoes that he feels that he needs to fill. So it's like, it's not his fault. He's this kid under a lot of pressure. And really one of the grown-ups should have been like, maybe we shouldn't let Alphinaud do this. Maybe that's a bad idea. But they didn't. I have been so far, Mega Man. I had problems with 2.0. It took me like 2 years to beat, and then Heavensward was amazing. It took me less than a year to beat. And now we're going to be moving into Stormblood soon, and I'm really excited to see how it goes from here. And I'm really proud of Alphinaud. Like, but I wonder who are we going to elect?
Should none of our numbers step forward? Must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
I think Ishtola is hilarious in a very dry way. Oh, and Thancred finally got his closure with Minfilia, which means he might kind of level out a little bit because he'd been super, they'd gone full emo man, which, I mean, he probably needed something so he wasn't just a walking archetype, but I liked the archetype he was, so.
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede she might struggle to balance her new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Okay, Thancred is back to sassing. I'm so glad. That's my boy.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Having somebody who like deals with like the organization and administration actually probably would be helpful.
Oh my goodness, help! I need some help here.
Could be Tataru. She could do it. She's having some trouble out there though. Like everybody pauses. What is going on with our precious little secretary? Oh goodness.
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
I love Tataru.
Narco! God, how did... Y'shtola! Please, you have to help her.
Yeah, well, Thancred went full emo boy. I think he'll probably chill out. I'm hoping he'll chill out a little bit now that he's had his goodbye with Minfilia. Who was basically like his little sister that he helped raise, and then she like died / got consumed by the soul of the planet to speak for the soul of the planet. It's a whole thing. Okay, so we're definitely getting into like connections to Alamigo, I suppose, because this is one of Ida's friends. They're trying
Kyle,
to...
a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
They want us to care about Ida. They're upping her importance. I love Krile. She's so cool. Some magic is happening.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
She seems
Honestly,
cool.
you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
So this is a really nice bit of characterization and showing us, like, it's very difficult to establish a lot of information really quickly when a character comes in, especially because they're building out an entire new section of the game, and presumably we're going to have an entirely new country to go explore, just like we went and got to know like Ishgard and that whole area of the world. So Ida is our tie to Alamigo because she's Alamigan. And so here we're like establishing through this one line of dialogue that sounds perfectly natural. As a writer, especially a writer in science fiction and fantasy, like there's kind of like a joke of like, as you know, Bob, is like as a writing problem. Like, as you know, Bob, we live in the place on Mars that was terraformed. Oh, that is very interesting, Joe. Why, when it was terraformed 300 years ago, blah, 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 where it's like, that's not how people talk. It's hard to actually convey information in dialogue while still making it sound natural and like something characters would really say. So here, this line, this is what we're doing. This is how I stream games. We're going to get into the story and stuff more as it goes on. But I really want to point out here, we know that she must have been coming from Alamigo because Ida references you had to fight half the Empire to get here. Where has Empire between us and them that has been relevant to the story? So we can kind of begin to piece together who this person is, even though we don't know at all and have no anything about Ida's background except that she's Alamigan, which I mostly know.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamigan resistance.
I figured.
I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
We figured. I mean, now I know that Nidhogg's Dragon Eye Popsicle is a factor that is going to make everything bad. But that is actually a really awesome thing because that makes this not entirely a standalone story in another part of the world. By bringing bits of Nidhogg back, it's tying the events of Heavensward so that they don't feel disconnected. And if we wind up having to deal with the dragon shenanigans in Stormblood as well, or even in just this final section that's building up to Stormblood, like, it's a nice way of, like, tying it together. It's a Dragon Eye Popsicle, Dosmea. It is. I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't recommend you do either.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Even in his voice.
And on no easy target. He means to assault Baelsar's wall from the Alamigan side.
Apparently you can see that wall from Gridania. My friend showed me like a map of the world and was like, you should probably look at this going into Stormblood. Yeah, it kind of does Blue Glass. Like for me, I'm like, oh, it's a sequel game. But it's not because they connect together and there's like this thing in the middle. So yeah, like I guess maybe I don't watch enough television to think of it that way. But yeah, I think it's more like seasonal TV. I appreciate you can hear in Thancred's voice. You can hear that he's had that closure. Like he's changing. He's coming back to us.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
The symbolism of bringing the wall down?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
I just said that there was a border with Gridania. Haha.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
Yeah. That is what it's sounding like, Alphinaud.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Not if he turns into a dragon.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
So I know that she's 2 feet tall and is wearing a Moogle outfit, but she's actually one of the coolest and most serious grown-ups in the game. So you should take Kryl seriously. I love her. She's amazing.
Agreed. I shall depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours.
Woo!
Alphinaud and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich and encourage him to send an envoy.
Yeah, because it's Kara, Galuf's granddaughter, who looks like her in Final Fantasy V, right? Or maybe Kara was... Maybe Kryl and Kara like the same name, and that's just what like basically fan translators interpreted her name to be. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to Ishgard and talk to Emmerich. Oh, you get to meet Emmerich!
Tataru, Kryl, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed.
Y'shtola just over here just dropping vocabulary words like they're nothing.
I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end.
Papalymo, are you going to be the narrator for this next section?
The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice.
Is that his voice? Leaving all the Lalafell.
'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Is he going to sacrifice himself? That would be interesting, because right now I have no emotional investment whatsoever in either of those two. Like, I don't care about them. Like, so I make fun of the ending of 2.0 as being like Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. Which is a reference to an old D&D related meme. Yeah, well that's why I switched. I played as a Lala up until last Halloween, actually. It was when I Fantasia'd finally to be the full-grown hero that you see before you. But prior to that, I was a Lala for quite a while, and it was great when I thought that the story was so dumb that I was laughing the whole time through, so it didn't matter that I looked like a 4-year-old with no knees. Now that I take the story seriously, I wanted to play as a character who I could take seriously more comfortably. No offense to anyone who does like serious role-playing as a Lalafell or anything like that, but for me it was difficult. I didn't watch The Heavensward and Interest Cinematic. Perhaps I should do that at some point. But so when the Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies happened, I did not care when most of the cast, or really these two, like, I was like, I do not care if these two die. I have no interest in them. I was like, I'll be sad if Y'shtola and Thancred die. But I didn't like Minfilia. Didn't like Ida. Didn't like Papalymo. Didn't really like Urianger. I think that's all of them. I liked Tataru. But she wasn't there. So I wasn't so worried about her. So yeah. Oh, I zoomed out. Okay, we're gonna. Hendrio, thank you for following and welcome. Okay, where am I trying to go? Oh, I'm going to go. Okay. All right. I know how to get to our Knights Most Heavenly. This is, in fact, where I... Oh, we're... Do you want to see the, like, Catholic, French, Elven, anti-dragon territory? Because here we are. That person's name is Big Yikes. Oh my god, amazing. Sorry, folks. I appreciate you, big yikes. Gamer moment. Alright. Sorry, apparently it's more polite to, like, you can turn it on so people can't see anyone's names, but I like seeing the names. I would have a, like, Hazy Afternoon is a great name. Is everyone dressing up over here? Are you guys gonna go have, like, a fancy pants dance? Maybe they are. We have a fancy pants dance. Okay. I think she's right up here, then. Let's see if I can know my way around. But yeah, so this is a much colder place. See? This is the city that had a really big battle with the dragons forever and ever. Oh, I did it wrong, actually. Hold on, we're gonna have to teleport. Peanut Cutie Pie. See, isn't that a great name? Aren't you excited about that name? Oh shoot, which one do I want? Is it the Last Vigil? Yeah, I started off as a Lala as a joke, but then I couldn't take her seriously. But now I have a character who's not a Lalafell with a distinctively Lalafell name. And so we have to figure out what her story is. I clearly do not know where I'm going. This isn't good. Yeah, I remember hearing that Kurthus, oh, I did it wrong. I went the wrong way. That Kurthus wasn't always cold, and so you can kind of feel it as you, oh. Hold on. When in doubt, just jump. Here we go, I think. No, it's okay, Forest of Seasons. There's a lot to keep up with, so I do not blame you for being a bit overwhelmed. I would not normally have dumped all of that on you. I'm going, I swear it's right around here. Is it maybe on the other side of this? I'm not good. I thought I knew, this is what happens. I thought I knew my way around this town, and so now I am suffering for my hubris. Well, so like, we're gonna try this again. Oh, they're right to the Forgotten Night? Okay. Maybe that's why, because it's usually where I go. Is, oh yeah, okay. Hi, Firm Albert. Yes, Argatlum, that is perfectly reasonable. I didn't turn off mount music for the longest time because I liked to hear Terra's theme every time I rode around in my Magitek armor. No, but I think I knew I was trying to get here, but I didn't remember where it was. Look, if they didn't want me to call him Firm Albert, they shouldn't have called him Firm Albert. I do try my best with the French names. I have a hard time with some of them, but his name is Firm Albert. Yeah, no, I can't, never mind, I'm in an actual town. I'll show you my Magitek armor, but yes, Magitek is a thing, actually. So the Empire, as in Final Fantasy VI, so the Gestalian Empire and the Garlean Empire have a lot in common in that they are both like driven by Magitek trying to take over the world, and so they're like always making evil technological stuff, and it's very bad. But there's a little more nuance to them. They're more of a functional empire than Final Fantasy VI had. No offense to Final Fantasy VI, one of my favorite games of all time. Love it dearly, but yeah, so hi, Lucia. We need to see Emmerich. All right, yes, please go get Emmerich. Are you prepared to see the most beautiful character in the game? Are you ready? You're not ready. I love Emmerich. He's just so nice and smart and kind and noble and generous. Like, does Emmerich have any flaws? A little bit. He like doesn't come across as being impossible. He's like just about as good as you can be and still be plausible as a character. It's perfectly fine, Careless Dragon. Everyone loves this man. Yes, self-deprecation is and over-optimistic. Yeah, I think that's fair to Osmea. I think that's fair. He's trying to talk his father out of trying to become God. And he's like, well, I had to try. And I'm like, I know you did, Emmerich. But the rest of us were over here sharpening our swords because we knew that wasn't going to go well. Okay. Yes, of course. Go do your politics. I understand they're complicated. So, Lucia here is actually secretly Garlean, ex-Imperial. She met Emmerich and had the same reaction to him that everyone else has, including all of us. And it's just like, this man is amazing, and wherever he leads, I will follow. So the Garleans have like a thing on their forehead, so she's got like this thing covering it on her forehead. Okay. Hondalu. She didn't tell anyone. She doesn't want anyone to know. We know because she told us. Yeah, she defected. Okay. Gates of Judgment. Is it actually a third eye? I was running around at Lala Height and I didn't notice. So. Yes, she was supposed to spy on him and was like, he's amazing, I have to be on his side. Hello, Hondalu. I don't remember which one you are. I'm sorry, friend. Which one are you? I still don't know. But I feel like I should. Oh, very nice, Argatlum. I do like to clip through things in games a lot. Yeah, Emmerich has too many charisma points. Do we have any other business in the city? I don't think we do. Hey, base, what's up? Goodbye, Firm Albert. Apologies to anyone who's a native French speaker. I promise I will try my best. Where am I going? Not there. I think I did a good job with this outfit. I mean, you can't tell because it's in the darkness right now, but... There we go. I actually know my way around this town reasonably well, but I'm having, like, performance anxiety. Oh, excellent, base. Well done. Space Mermaid story is a great thing. A great thing to be working on. I wholeheartedly support this. Look at me, I have a dramatically flowing skirt too. As it happens, everybody decided that Emmerich should be the representative because everyone loves him. As long as there's not content warning stuff that I wouldn't be comfortable with in your story base, I'd be happy to read a thing. Okay, Dosmea, what is your headcanon? Oh, do we not know who the head of the House of Commons is? Because it wouldn't be Hilda, would it? Camp Dragonhead. Oh, I know that place. Alright. I feel like I'm dressed appropriately for this occasion. Alright. Where am I going? Going to Camp Dragonhead. Well, I could fly there. Or I could teleport. How lazy am I? You know what? No. Are you ready? Gonna bust out my new pony. Yeah, it was very cool, Blue Glass. I felt very cool. Not that there's much to see because it's nighttime and in the snow. But we're gonna ride my latest pony around town. So the thing with ponies is that I have decreed that every vehicle in this game is a pony. I made it. Everything is a pony. Like, pony. Yes. Well, because it's gotta be something playable to, like, on consoles. See? Pony. Does it? Whoa! I figured out how to zoom my camera in and out, by the way. Oops. That was somewhat anticlimactic. Amazing! Bam! Okay, I know that we're playing the story, but can I just do something really dumb? Can I show you all something really dumb? I think this will do. Okay, hold on. I have to switch to an actual pony. No, that's the wrong thing. Okay. I'm gonna show off my fancy pony that I shouldn't have, but I do by accident. This is my fancy pony that my pony gathering squad, they were trying to get me the other ponies, and they accidentally gave me this whistle instead of taking it for themselves. So, one of my favorite things in the game is the fact that you can... I really like to do skateboarding tricks on my ponies off of roofs. Yes! Skateboarding, snowboarding, all of that stuff, yeah. Like, I don't understand why people don't just do this running around town more often. You know, like, yeah, Ultras. Well, so I am a Final Fantasy VI fan. So fortunately for me, my friends were also on Ultras, but like, I have a band named The Returners. I'm a big fan of. Oh, look at this! Somebody here is gonna pony skateboard, snowboard with us. I mean, I'll believe it, but I just don't understand why I never see anyone doing it. Like, I just show one of my friends who I play with, that you could do that. Like, and you can just hear the sound. But yeah, I would have wanted to choose Ultras anyway, just because I'm a Final Fantasy VI fangirl. Yes, his expertise in both politics and warfare, and also his, like, incredible, like, level head and charisma. My favorite summon out of the series in summons in general, or like the summon type characters that have shown up in this game, or the garrison. Oh, is it gonna be one of Hirschfont's brothers? Yes. Yay! And Mandalorian is trying to be a functional adult. I'm so proud of him. So the comic relief character who tragically died and everybody's heart was broken because we all loved him. He's another bastard son. There's a number of bastard sons in this this particular part of the world. So his like half brothers, his legitimate half brothers. There's one who's actually cool and competent, and then there was like the little like slacker playboy type, but he learned how to be an actual grown-up. Alexander is cool. I just really like Final Fantasy IX, and Alexander has an important emotional role in that game, so. Well, Base, why don't you reach out to me? We can talk about it and make sure that as long as everything is like cool comfort-wise, like I think that would. I'm really curious about your story. I've heard you talk about it for a bit, so. That's amazing, Dismaya. Oh, Final Fantasy IX is fantastic. It's really good. It's hold up. It has held up a lot better than 6. Oh man. All right, so she's going to explain everything. I don't know. You can reach out to me on Discord. So does he know that she's Garlean, and therefore she's like realizing it's not people being Garleans, it's people being Imperials that's the problem? Oh, the observatory, that's the tall, towery place. I'm so proud of him. He has grown up well. So the elf people have the weirdest scaling. Like that little tiny child who like doesn't come up to his waist is the same species as him and is not like a baby. So yes, I was a little surprised, but not in like an impossible way. I kind of predicted it. Oh. Oh. I mean, Hirschfont is amazing, but that's Hirschfont. You can get that portrait and put it in your house, and literally everyone I know who has a house in this game has a portrait of him hanging up somewhere. I'm glad he's still a little bit goofy. It's not like a total, like, breach of character. Wait. So when I was playing this game, back when I thought that it was terrible because I was playing through the Realm Reborn stuff, I referred to Hirschfont as the guy behind the desk. See, because that's the desk. And if you wanted to go talk to him, see these people that we see running in and they're talking to it looked like they were talking to someone, but there's no one there. They're earlier in the game and they're talking to Hirschfont when he's behind the desk. So I would ride my Magitek Armor through these doors and go talk to the guy behind the desk because I couldn't keep up with anyone's names. Right, I forgot this is you're on a bed. Just like laying on a bed. Just lounging on a bed in the middle of the floor. Middle of Camp Dragonhead, just snoozing. That's amazing. Well done. Yeah, Alphinaud and Elise are so teeny. It's funny. That's funny, Base. I appreciate that. Yeah, so many people have the painting in their houses. And now I understand. I don't have the painting because I don't have a house, although I do have a room. But I do have my little wind-up Hirschfont, which is the closest thing I can have. Alright, so we're going to go to Gridania! The only other town I can find anything in sometimes. Because that's where I started. I like Gridania. I don't like Gridania, but I like Gridania. Oh, did you not know about the portrait, Careless Dragon? I find it so amusing, those of us who, like, just finding that, like, my feelings and my experiences with this game are in line with lots of other people's. I think that's interesting. God, there's a lot of people here. Where are they? We've got a concert. Sorry, folks. It's very exciting. Yeah, I don't know that I ever got that high enough level as a bard. But some of my friends have been doing concerts like this recently. And it's something I want to do. But, it's super cool. So right now everything has eggs on it because they're doing like a seasonal event. I'm not a big fan of the seasonal events things. I did not pay real money for a boost, so that must mean that I must have unlocked that as Bard, because Bard was what I played prior to being Red Mage. I couldn't figure out what was going on with Bard. Sir Grail. Hi, Emmerich. What's up, friend? Emmerich just appreciates life. I don't remember the lyrics. I really want to cover that song. I want to cover Answers more, but... Alright. Gactradute. Like, there's just names. Like... I hope it's not rude for me to have people's names. You see, Bard was the opposite of brainless for me, because I couldn't figure out, because I'd never played an MMO before, and I hadn't even really, like, it took me a year and a half to even begin to understand how the game worked, and it's only been in the past, I would say, 6 to 8 months that I've actually come to understand enough to be like, oh, I can see what's happening. I know how to do what I do. Am I efficient at Red Mage? No, but I can understand Red Mage. And that is good enough for me. Also, they're cool and flashy, and they have Zoro moves, which is the best thing ever. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, and I'm just not a complicated... Okay, I'm gonna go this way. I'm not really a complicated game person. I'm pretty happy playing as Red Mage. And once if I decide that I want to do something else, I may start Dancer, because all of my friends who liked Red Mage best, when they decided to branch out, they branched out to Dancer and said it was a good fit. So that's what I think I might do. Where are you? This way? I don't want the chicken suit. I'm too serious. This music sounds so much like something from Katamari every time I hear it. How do I get there? Oh my god, Gridania, why? I've passed this person before a lot, I think, because that name looks familiar. I would love to experience that story. Oh! Okay, so here, yeah. Let me, give me just a second. How do I, hold on. Alright, so that should take care of that base. I've heard, because the Dark Knight plotline was written by somebody who wrote something else really good. Yeah, I don't want to tank. I got distracted. Where am I going? This way. Like, I'm not really interested in learning another class, but I want story. I do need to finish the Red Mage quest stuff. I've fallen behind with it. But we'll work on that at some point. Aha! I figured it out. Yes, and everyone loved Shadowbringers. So... Filaments and Party. Oh! So there's Merlewib, the one that my friends all think is just the most attractive person ever. We're all late. We're all fashionably late. Oh, it's the Doman woman! Yes! I don't know her well, but I do know her. Yes, if you like giant women, there are options for you in Final Fantasy XIV for sure. See, Emmerich is pretty. People who think Merleweb is attractive, like there are a lot of descriptions that one could give for her, but I don't think pretty is the right word. Whereas like Emmerich is like the walking embodiment of pretty. So like I'm not even into men, but he's very pretty. Okay, my new outfit actually fits in with this crowd. I dressed well for this occasion. I'm very proud of myself. She's gorgeous.
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware,
Her voice
the
is much
Scions
better.
of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphinaud?
Yeah, like she sounds like a completely different person. Like she was kind of like a sad little girl in the original voice actor. Whereas like here she actually sounds like she could be a leader of something instead of being like this. I'm in charge of a kingdom. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Like she's super beautiful. Sorry, Merleweb, but Connie Senna is way more beautiful. But they have very different looks, so you can't really compare the two of them. So yeah, it is possible
Indeed,
that this is not good
Elder
information.
Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
Given what bad shape she was in physically, it seems unlikely that it's a plant. It is still possible. But
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Baelsar's wall against the Empire.
yay, Rabon is here.
When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Carteneau, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion.
I'm just, like, I can't get over the fact that she actually sounds like an adult now. She sounds like an adult and a leader. Like, because I literally thought she was a child leading Gridania. Apparently she's not. She's young looking, but she's also meant to be taken seriously as an actual full-grown adult. So I'm having to rewrite my understanding of her as a character and a leader, which I'm more than happy to do. But I haven't really spent much time with some of these characters since when Heavensward started. They changed voice cast. They were able to throw away a lot of old writing and stuff, so everything got better. But so characters that we haven't really dealt with during any of the Heavensward stuff, I'm gonna have to get used to the new versions of them. Better written, better voice acted, all of that. So
Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
I mean, it's possible the game can make me like Ida. It's just gonna have to go up against several years of me calling her hot pants and rolling my eyes and verbally complaining whenever she's on screen.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
He is so inspiring. I would go to war under Emmerich. If he was this is the only way. This is, for justice and goodness and a good future and hope. We're all just sitting here yelling about how much we love Emmerich. He's amazing. I thought he might betray me at first,
The
but I was
Doman
like,
people,
no.
too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
I'm excited about the Domans because Doma is a location in Final Fantasy VI. So I'm like, ooh, is that going to be a Final Fantasy VI story, or is this just a nice nod to all of that? Yes, that's the thing, Desmay. I would put my life in that man's hands. and feel that it was well placed.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed?
Is he standing in for Nanamo? How does that power dynamic work right now? Also, he's missing an arm because of there was like the whole betrayal that like led to like a nation falling and like everyone on our team we thought dying and all of this stuff. And also he wound up getting in prison and getting his arm cut off as a whole thing. So okay, so because he's here himself and Merlwyb is here herself. So I'm just kind of like Emmerich, like they voted on who got sent here, and obviously it was going to be Emmerich. And Merlwyb, I guess, does stuff for herself. But Roban is here instead of Nanamo. So I mean, I guess if he's like in charge of the Grand Company instead of in charge of leading the nation, I'm not really sure if that's changed. Because I would normally expect both of them to be here.
Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift. There is much to be done.
Yes. So I figured that Roban was going to show up because he's from the country that like this whole rebellion against the Empire like is tied to. And he got his arm cut off by another guy from the same country that like they were both like, we need to get All Amigo back as a whole thing. So yeah, I mean, I would totally buy like Nanamo has to deal with politicking back home. If there's fighting stuff, she doesn't know anything about it. So it makes sense for her not to be here. I just wanted to like make sure that nothing had like changed that I had forgotten about as far as the dynamics there. But I'm really excited that my outfit fits here. I dressed for the occasion. Look at me. Look at me fit in. Look at me looking cool. Like a hero among heroes. Yeah. Fashion. It's the true end game of Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, look! The twins are so teeny.
The Council knows that All Amigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defenses seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one.
But he's still unhappy that it's the only choice that can be made.
Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
This is why you're the brains, Alphinaud. You're young, you're 16, and not very worldly, although you've gotten much better in that regard. But he is smart. Apply that brain to this situation, please, Alphinaud. Alice will have to learn to take him seriously. She doesn't realize, I think, how much he has changed. Because she's changed and she's all, I've changed so much, but I don't think she realizes that he hasn't just sat around at home being the same nerd he always was. Alright, Alphinaud. What's up, my friend? Yay! Alphinaud, why are you surprised that Emmerich is here? Look at the height difference between these two. They're both elves. She was hiding behind a tree! Thanks, Yuri. Amazing. Yeah, no, things like my experience of the game is very different now that I'm no longer playing Olala. Like, the world feels different moving around in it because I'm coming at it from a different space. and cutscenes are framed differently because I'm not 2 feet tall. Yugiri seems pretty cool. I don't know her that well, but I did love when she, like, Thancred like threw a knife and was like, I'm going to be dramatic and sassy too and flirt with you a little. I was like, oh my god, amazing. That was my introduction to the fact that apparently Thancred had been a sassy, charming rogue underneath La Habrea for all that time, and I had been denied my favorite archetype because of a stupid basement goth Ascian. La Habred. Have you seen that funny picture on the internet? When you're Lala, it feels like it takes forever to get anywhere because everyone is so big and I don't know my way around. Politicking. Carpe Fizzle, thank you for following. Welcome to the Final Fantasy XIV stream. Alright. Oh, Alice, she is rash and reckless and impatient as hell. I think that might be her problem. Because it's clear, like, she's not the same as she was at the beginning of the game. Like, Alphinaud is still kind of learning who she is. And she definitely needs to learn who he is now. But she's not as grown as she thinks she is. Which is funny because that was the problem with Alphinaud, is that he was like, I'm a grown-up. I can handle starting my own superhero sub-squad. I can do this. Who needs background checks for their hires? Not me. I'm a hero. I'm a grown-up. I'm clever. I can solve everything. And it's like, you're a child, Alphinaud. No. But I feel like Alice also thinks that she's like, these politicians are wrong and what they do is dumb and they should be more like me. It's very believable for somebody like of her age and experience level, but it is funny because she definitely thinks that she's got it all figured out. She thinks she's had her great growing up moment already, and I'm like, honey, it hasn't even started. I was just sassing her for that exact reason. Amazing. Amazing, Alphinaud. Amazing. What a good line. That's fantastic. How's she gonna take that? Whatever, that was his. I think he won. I think he won that exchange. Her follow-up is nowhere near as good. Alice needs to, fairy? Oh, I like fairies a lot. So I had the fairy wing outfit, and why I got the fairy sword with butterflies. Blitz beef. Bits beef. Beef beef. Alright, where am I going? Revenant's Toll. Oh, I think I should know where that is, shouldn't I? Let us go find out where that is. Oh, we're going back there. Okay. That is not where I thought we were going. I don't know my way around. Maps are hard. Geography is hard. I'm already trying to learn the geography of a new country in the real world. Look at his hot pants. she's really going all in with the hot pants look. I mean, it looks good, but. Oh, you're standing outside. Hi, Yuri. Winter time, haha. Until they opened their mouths. Oh, well, your fairy is very cool. Oh, man. Yes, they are very different people, which I like. See, it is perfectly all right to say, I don't feel comfortable with it. It is not a good suit, like, not a good fit for me, etc., etc. It's the, like, well, nobody should be like that. I can't believe they're like that and stuff. That's where I think the more, like, juvenile response is. Just shrug. My brother is willing to run his own errands, anything. See, that's a good sass. Oh man, look at all these foods I could get, or money. I guess I should probably get money. I like having food so I can give food to people when they try to trade with me. Be like, I'm gonna trade this with you, and I'm like, all right, but have some soup. Like my friend's friend who gave me 1,000,000 gil to go buy, like, to go clothing shopping. Bye, Base Prefect. Thank you for dropping by. It was good to see you, and good luck with your story. Is Elise one of the scions? Because this is one of the other scions. I thought she specifically said she didn't want to be a scion. Well, I'm glad you could make it. And have a grand adventure here with us. I'm really enjoying the fact that I made this cool new outfit. Like, I feel really cool in it. Don't I look cool? I look cool. I look cool. I did a good job. I'm cool. I'm so proud of myself. All right. The seventh heaven, see? Because they're like... Griffin on the wall. I suppose that's true, she did. Nago. That's funny, Dumland. Yeah, that seems accurate. Yeah. Ada's not the brightest. She punches things with her fist, not her mind. But she's gonna try to apply her mind to it anyway. Meanwhile, Papalimo's like, well, I do have a brain, so I might as well use it. Ah. Some experience in the practice of infiltration, says the ninja. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna get to know the Domans here too, which is good because the Domans are also refugees, and so having two different groups of refugees that are both having some conflict politically with the area that they're in could seem kind of redundant, but they could use that to their favor, like as storytellers, if they wanted to use one to kind of highlight what's going on with the other. And I've been a little bit worried about, like, what are they going to do with that? Because the Doman refugees were, like, one of the first times that I really got into something in the game. I was like, this is really well done. I care about these people. They're making me care about this. And I would think that the Domans and the Alamegans would have some interesting interactions there. Shared a shadow with a shinobi. Yeah. that alliteration is, I didn't even read his line yet because I was busy thinking about a story thing that's saying words instead of reading the words. I need to do both of those things. Thancred, I think Thancred thinks she's pretty, I think is what's happening here. And if Y'shtola doesn't tease him about that, I will be surprised. Nope, okay. Y'shtola's like, this is too serious to make fun of Thancred for flirting. Fair. Fair. What about the twins? Hold the fort. It is funny because she does look so much like him, and yet she's not the same. Well, it was because most of the quests in A Realm Reborn are back and forth and 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 maybe go kill a thing and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and just... I skipped through all of the dialogue. I was just like, this is so bad. And then they want you to get to know the refugees. So you like accompany them and like bring them food and you like talk to each of them as you bring them stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm beginning to care about these people. Like, I don't know them, but the way that they had you do that built up a degree of connection and attachment, which they had failed to do with any characters in the game pretty much. Like, there's a reason why I have no fondness for most characters from A Realm Reborn. But then they used the gameplay and the like quest of go talk to these people to their advantage. So instead of it just being the thing that you had to fill out, the thing that you had to do, like, because that's what MMOs do, you press the button and talk to people until you run out of button to talk to that person. That was a time where they were like, okay, well, part of the way MMOs work is you walk around and talk to people and you go between quests. How can we use that gameplay mechanic to have an emotional reaction in our player? And it stood out. Like, that's one of the things that I remember from Realm Reborn, that little section right there, because I was like, this is the first time that they've actually used any of this in a way that makes me care. And they've done that sort of thing since, and the game has become vastly more interactive. The like, just Heaven's Word, like the moment you're running after Isael and you like go down down a staircase and through a door and bad guys come in and jump you because it's like an ambush, and I was like, I feel like I'm there in a way that hasn't happened because everything else has been like, even though I'm playing with a controller, it was like click 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 instead of like the actual like immersive experience of playing a video game. And that early in Heaven's Word was one of the first moments that I had where I was like, oh, I feel like I'm actually like immersed in the game world. Which kind of comes and goes because MMOs are definitely not as immersive as other games. There are definitely some limitations to the genre from a story perspective, like storytelling perspective, how the gameplay and the story like interact. But they've done a much better job. And I think that moment with the Domans and the refugees and stuff was them kind of putting into practice a thing and being like, okay, we understand this, and then they've learned and carried that forward. Yeah, no, Realm Reborn is not good, and I did not retain much of the content, actually. So a lot of what I know from that game is from talking through it with people afterwards, like, who is this? Why do I care about this? Should I know this person? So it's actually great streaming this, because that means that those of you who know the games will be like, yes, Lauren, you know them. You've encountered them before, Lauren. You get to hear my dumb nicknames of how I remember who or what things are. Just Maya is here to help. Unfinished business in the toll. Okay. Alright, let's go talk to our pals over here. Exaggerated your standing. Fared middling chance. Papalimo, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thancred's learned, he's studied a lot of different classes. So he like uses different weapons, and apparently like it was like unclear what his actual class was for a while because he kept like doing things that looked like they might have been something else. This is what I have been told from people who are more observant than I am. Alright. Oh, the Hawthorne Hut. I'm glad, like, I liked that Thancred became kind of, like, insufferably serious for a while there. Like, I think that it makes sense, and I like it when games are willing to do that and have a character's personality shift a little bit. Like, Final Fantasy IX does a really interesting thing with a character experiencing massive trauma, and that affects the gameplay with that character for a while. But I like that they did that with Thancred, but I like Thancred better when he's Here we go. Look at the coolness of my weapon. Do you observe? Do you see my weapon? Do you see the butterflies on it? Look at that. Look at how cool. Do you see how cool it is? Isn't it cool? It's very cool. You should be impressed with it. C pose? I'm posing with the coolness of my sword. Hold on. I can zoom in the camera now. Yeah. It's very cool. I just got this today, Estelle, because my friends who I play with once a week to like where I got my get ponies and stuff, they were like showing me some cool weapons, and then we were just like looking at all the cool weapons, and I was like, oh, that one's really pretty. They're like, well, we'll get you one. So they got me one. They made me one today, and it's super pretty, so I'm very excited about it. The other one that I have is a Moogle one that goes kupo, which was great when I was running around as a Lalafell being silly, but now that I want to take myself seriously in cutscenes, it doesn't work so well. So, well, let's zoom out. Look at me using controls! I am in control of my camera! It's amazing. Amazing. Alright, let's go talk to Alphinaud. Griffin on the wall. Yeah, I mean, I love it too, but it makes it a little hard to take story scenes seriously sometimes when every time your character in a cutscene pulls out her sword, it goes kupo. See, like, these two are, like, constantly bickering, but not in a way that is super fun for me. So at least Ida is here saying, I will punch with my fists, you will punch with your brain. Okay. Alright, Ida. I'm glad you have that self-awareness. Like, this is their dynamic, and I never liked it. I didn't like it when I was playing through Gridania, and I don't like it now. I may come to like them individually, but it's not a dynamic that I find very funny or enjoyable. But also the characters may grow and change over time. So. Alright. Can I teleport there? Or should I fly there? Oh, we're gonna fly there. Okay, fine. Wrong button. Alright, this is the one we've got. Whee! Sparkly! Thank goodness we can now fly. Although this isn't the part of Gridania that is a nightmare to walk around in. No! Buttons! I'm having some trouble with them, but it could be worse. I'm much better with buttons than I used to be. Alright. Camera shift. The pacing of story... Oh, it's Pippin! I love Pippin! Okay, you may have heard me reference a Lalafell Bishonen before. This is a Lalafell Bishonen. When he first takes his helmet off, there's sparkles as his hair flies in the breeze. Elusive N7. Oh, that sounds like a Mass Effect reference. Hello, welcome. Thank you for following. We are continuing our adventures. Oh, Hilda! What are you... Okay, hold on. Pippin, Hilda, and I don't know who anyone else here is, but... I don't know who you are. Oh, that's right, we did that fight. That's not quiet. That is explosive. Ah, see, I don't know Limsa, so I have no investment or attachment to the random people there. Oh, good. Oh, good. Again, Pippin looks 5, but he's very cool. He's super cool. The giant guy who's only got one arm is his adoptive father. Also very cool. Pippin is as cool as you'll be being raised by Raban. Oh, that's not good. I'm glad that Alphinaud is able to put this together, because it makes perfect sense once he says it. A moment too late, but his gut was right. Yeah, no, it is good. And it's looking like Alphinaud is actually going to be a bit of a strategist, which is nice. He may have had the potential for that earlier, but he didn't really have... What is in his hair? What is it? Well, he's got a little, like, shark fin thing. Not like his little, like, doop, because he's got a little doop, too. But he's got, like, this little, like, shark fin thingy that's, like, on the back of his head. Sorry, I got distracted by his headpiece. But like it's very fitting, but I hadn't thought of him as a strategic person because he wasn't super effective, but I think he's better now. Which is cool seeing him kind of grow and come into his own. Tactical geniuses, yes. Well, have no fear, I think we're gonna go play a bunch of messed up Greek gods being goofy or something tomorrow, so maybe we'll put an end to that trend of tactical genius. We're going to be starting Hades tomorrow for anyone who missed the memo of what's going on in my stream schedule. Yeah, I'll just take this moment here. We'll go back to the story stuff in a second because there's a lot going on. But yeah, so we're still playing Suikoden 2 on Tuesdays. This is going to be every Wednesday. We're starting Hades tomorrow. It'll be lore and story focused, but I guess I'll have to do some gameplay too while we're at it, which is fine. I've played hard genres that I don't really play before. Anyway, this Saturday I think we might do music, but next Saturday we're going to be doing a cooking stream, Chaos Baking. It came up while we were streaming Suikoden 2 last night. So you can look forward to that. I'll come up with what the rules and stuff are, but it'll be Saturday noon my time. Not this Saturday. This Saturday we'll do music or something at that time, but the following Saturday, the 1st, they'll be baking. You might be able to like vote for ingredients. I won't be using recipe. It'll be great. So yeah. Okay, so we're all gonna try to find the Griffin and be like, maybe don't do this. Maybe don't plunge other countries into war. No, so I kind of wonder, did we fail to help the people of Alamigo? Did the Eorzean Alliance fail to help the people of Alamigo, and therefore the people of Alamigo do not care? Are kind of like, well, if they have to pay the price for our freedom now, they could have paid the price earlier and helped us not fall, so they get what they deserve. Because I kind of feel like that's kind of the impression that I've gotten, and kind of what this looks like from the outside without even knowing all of the details. That's the pieces on the board look like that's the situation. So an airship. I really like Hilda. I'm glad she's not gone. All right. The Grand Company outfits are so silly looking. Now let me go fell before the moon fell? Or after? Like, how long has Alamigo been occupied? Force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Yes. There we go. Ah, okay. Yeah, that would probably make Gridania not super fond of you. Okay. That is more complicated. That is more complicated. If they just tried to take over one of the countries that they are now mad didn't help them not get taken over by someone else. Now, granted, they might have been ruled by the crazy king at that point, so... No matter the cost, you don't get to make that decision, Griffin. You don't get to make that decision. I mean, Gridania should have recognized that that was not the people of Alamigo. That was the crazy king of Alamigo. But the leaders of Eorzea are not necessarily the most reasonable and mature people all the time. Not everyone can be Emmerich. Hi, Bugs. Bye, Bugs. Peace out, Bugs. All right. Okay. No, and it's fine, Blue Glass. It's funny because I would say that, like, and so in Suikoden 2, when we saw all of the people of Joustin gathered around the table arguing about something, arguing about, again, whether to come together and stave off an invading military that's threatening part of them. Some of them are more mature than others. And now in that case, there are more areas and therefore more... Like, you can have a better balance of people who are dumb and immature and people who are reasonable. Whereas here, there aren't that many to choose from. There are 4 now that Ishgard has rejoined. And so Emmerich is mature and intelligent and capable and amazing and doing the right thing at all times. But, like, Merlweb seems like she's short-tempered. Nanamo doesn't have control over her country, which is largely dominated by capitalism at its worst. I don't even know. Gridania just does that. We're Gridania. We don't deal with other people's problems. We're Gridania. We don't need to worry about that. We're elves. They're more like the fancy, fussy forest elves. So we got a couple of choices here. We can shut down because technically it's almost 10 o'clock, or we can make a party and go do this dungeon. I kind of want to do this dungeon, but I don't mind, like, do we have enough people who are viewing who would be willing to dungeon up with us? Because I know Dismaya is down. Okay, and that's Dumbland over there. If it's not super late for you, Around. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can... I'm gonna see if I can do this with my controller. No, wrong button. There we go. Yes! Look at me go. No, this one. No! Sorry. You were gonna have dinner at 10 p.m.? Like, that's the thing, is like, that's late for dinner. Buttons are hard. Alright. So you here are also one of us. Fortunately, I do kind of like I have my touchpad on my laptop, so I just kind of like do both if I have to. All right. Who is General Midi? Is that you, Arond? Oh man, okay. Excellent. Yay! Party, party. And if anybody else wants to join a party ever, if you're watching this and you're enjoying it, I'm L'Oreala Loala on Ultros. Please feel free to send me a friend request. I'm happy to have people to play with. Yeah, but they're gonna, when the new one comes out, we're all gonna be able to play together across servers, right? Right? Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, we've got in the party, I'm a red mage. Paladin? Is that what the shield is? I'm assuming the one that looks like a gun is Gunbreaker. Because apparently it's Gunbreaker, not Gunblade. My pony friends today were explaining that. And is that Black Mage? Is General Midi a Black Mage? Or Machinist? The one that looks like a gun is a Machinist? Okay. I clearly don't know these things very well. Yeah, the data center travel thing, which everyone's been talking about, which I'm very excited about. So I'm happy to be Red Mage. I'm always Red Mage. You will be the first to know if I'm not doing Red Mage. What would be hilarious is if I trained up something that wasn't Red Mage secretly on stream, and then went to play with my friends, and when we were trying to figure out who's going to be what, I could be like, instead I'm going to be this. That's what I did when I Fantasia'd to be not a Lalafell. There was a Halloween party that my FC put on, and I went there, and I was not a Lalafell. They were all really confused, and I didn't tell them I was doing it. Yeah, but I couldn't put together an outfit in time, so I just went I cosplayed as Zidane. It was great. Yeah, a secret job. I think that would be hilarious, personally. But I'll have to wait until I'm ready for that. So, are we good to go? Are we ready to try this? But the thing is, though, my pony friends don't watch my stream, so they wouldn't know. I do have one more friend that can play sometimes, but let's see. I can always check in with him. I should have probably checked in beforehand, but we'll have people. Yay! Excellent. So the way I would like to do things, depending on how much plot there is in this dungeon, if there's things to walk around and look at, I would like to look at them. I don't know that that's really going to be the case here, because I feel like this is pretty straightforward. It's not going to be like the first dungeon of Heavensward, where you like find out that the people have slowly eaten each other because they were in freezing situations. It was one of those like, we got frozen in here and now we're eating each other and turning to zombies and stuff. But yeah, yes, the vigil it's memorable. And that's like the first or second dungeon you do in Heavensward. And I was like, oh, we're not in a Realm Reborn anymore, are we? Oof. It was good though, because the only dungeon that I found really memorable in a Realm Reborn was Aurum Vale, which I actually really like, because I could remember how to play it. I knew its mechanics. Also, because everybody has, everyone has Aurum Vale story. My Aurum Vale story was the time that all of my equipment broke in the middle of the dungeon. I ran around naked the rest of the time. And my other Aurum Vale story is when me and a friend were playing with like a newbie tank and a newbie healer, and they both died. And so it was like a ninja and a red mage. Then we defeated a boss, and it was great. And they thought we were just the coolest. And I was like, I must not be terrible at this game anymore. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm gonna keep telling those stories, but that's my, like, I've learned that everyone has an Aurum Vale story, and I have two. Very excited. So I'm gonna try to figure out what to do on the bosses, if you all don't mind me potentially getting it wrong, because I've been kind of practicing with my pony friends, like observing, being like, oh, this means we do this. This means we do that. So it would be cool if I could do that sort of and be like, oh, okay, I can tell with this boss that it's supposed to be a thing. So we'll see if I remember to focus target the enemy and things like that. Oh man. Amazing, Dosmea. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I like Aurum Vale. I think it's interesting. Okay, Around will keep everyone from dying while I try to figure out what's going on. Okay, are we ready to do this then, folks? Thank you. Yay! Okay, and just so, and in case anyone is watching me play this game for the first time, I'm not the most efficient red mage. You may notice that my hotbar has a jolt on it in 2 places. That is because that is how my brain works. But you'll notice that the magic on the left goes at the side of my bar on the left, and the magic on the right goes at the side of my bar on the right. It's very clever. Again, this is how my brain works. It's just like how Dark Souls made sense to me because of the left hand, right hand thing. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it, friends. Let's do it. Whee! Okay. This one. Baelsar's Wall. Okay. Let's join. Oh, I forgot to do the ready check. But okay. Oh, somebody else has jolts on both sides of the controller? Oh, that's cool. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. That makes me feel good, actually. So if Forest of Seasons is still here, or anyone else who hasn't seen this game before, I was expressing surprise at the fact that there's Magitek. Like, as we get into the Empire more, which is what's happening here, we'll see more of this, like, Magitek type stuff. Oh wow, I didn't realize that other people did double jolt. Amazing! Amazing. Amazing. Oh, I'm so excited at this thing that I did, and I felt it was just because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, see, here we've got these Magitek. Wait, this song! That's the Gridania music. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Oh, now I'm not gonna get a chance to. Let's see. Come on, do your scatter, do your scatter. No! Okay. I'm having a hard time here. Sorry, folks. Yeah, cause you. Ah, sorry. I need to turn off Discord. Sorry about that. Okay. So I made my little symbol. So if anyone who doesn't know what Red Mage does, in this game, Red Mage has to balance between 2 kinds of magic, which are black magic and white magic. So you'll see the little bar with the white and the blue in it, and I want to try to balance those. When those hit 80 on both sides, I get to do Zoro moves. Very cool. But so I'm switching back and forth between these two. And so as part of, like, to emphasize the balanced nature of the class, not only do you have to balance those 2, but also you cast spells in sets of 2. So, sorry, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, there's nothing to see. Okay, we're actually raiding their base. I love that this is the Gridania music! Or I guess more specifically the, oh goodness. Do I have to do something different when they're tethered? I know when it's a boss, you want to do something different when it's tethered, but... Oh, we're about to get Moulinet! I'm, like, trying to explain what I'm doing here while also trying to do it. Yeah, did you hear that sound? Can't miss that sound. That very cool sound. That's the sound of my Zoro meter being full, which you will see soon. Here, hold on a second, because I'm getting notifications for stuff on Discord that I shouldn't be, so I'm going to quit Discord for now because I don't want to have anybody's private conversations. Even though that is our just so you know, if you join our Discord and you join the you post in the Introduce Yourself channel, I have it set up so that I get a notification for every message in that channel, so you won't ever have to worry about saying hello to empty ears, as you might have just seen there. Thank you. I've gotten that closed. I don't want things to pop up on stream that people didn't consent to being on my stream. But yeah. Yes. Sorry about that, folks. I'm good to go. I just really jazzed about this music. I'm super excited. It's the Shroud music. Oh, which oh, that's not good. Okay, so we're writing Magitek Armor. This is not good news for us. Yeah, no, it looks a lot like the ones. It looks like the ones that are actually in 6 as opposed to the ones that Terra is drawn in art doing. Okay, hold on. Hopefully this isn't a bad idea. This is watch the move. Oh, you can't see it because I turned the super moves off, the special effects off. Oh, I should have used embolden before that. But normally there's like a Z. Okay, so I'm watching what my friends are doing. Okay, I'm tethered to this guy. Oh, sorry. That was probably not what I wanted. Oh, geez. Please don't die, Lauren. Okay. Well, I tried to die. Fortunately... Oh, okay. Well, I was on trying to not die. I have a curing spell, and I will apparently also be able to use a life spell eventually, which I'm a little scared of. Because... Okay, so you'll notice my bars are completely off right now. Like the white bar was much below the blue bar. Okay, everybody else is not attacking the boss. Everybody else is attacking what we call the ass. Oh, Jesus! Holy crap! Please don't die, Lauren! Okay. So there are normally a lot more fancy sparkles going on at this point, but I turned them off because I couldn't see what was going on. Yes! You ready? Zoro! So that one, she actually cuts the Z. Okay, so I've got this on, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Oh, okay, I got missiled. Well, I thought it might have been the eyeball thing, because when they put the eyeball on you, that means you look away. I know that. Alright. Do I care about the loot? I think I don't. Oh. I think I want to pass on this. Well, it's because I was having a hard time understanding what was happening in the game still. Like, it's the melody from the amount of time that I've spent running around there. I know this melody super, super well. That's such a nice touch. I love the music. Look at this. Look at this. We're in a Magitek facility. So I wonder if we're going to have to fight some of those guys. Can I just drop them on our heads? Not this time around. Oh. Oh my gosh! This is when I want to have Moulinet. So, my Zoro move... Oh! Moving platform! Oh my goodness! Okay, I've seen one of those before. I swear that's a design I've seen in other Final Fantasies. So this game does very nice, very tasteful references to things. Okay, so we just ride on here. Figure out where else we're going. Oh, you're big. Hello, friends. Oh wait, there's 3 of you. Yeah, it does feel a lot like the elevator fight. Okay. So I made, if you don't know how this game is played or what a red mage is, you'll notice I cast a spell, and then there's like little thing that says dual cast, and it pops up. It's all sparkly in the corner. That means my next spell is going to be super fast, but I have a really hard time telling if I'm on a dual cast or not. So I made it really big so that I can see it. So when I'm like, shoot, am I on dual cast? I can see it. Okay, so another... Oh, there's a bunch of them. Okay, hold on. I gotta do my group attack. If there's 3 or more, you always... Oh, I want to stand in the sparkle. I always ask my friends, do I stand in the circle? And they're like, if there's a circle, Lauren, it is always going to be a good thing. So it either will hurt the bad guys, or it will help you. But you'll be fine. Oh, jeez, there's a whole bunch of these. Oh, I can Moulinet. Oh, I can Moulinet. Yes, this is what Moulinet is for. Yes! Yes! Moulinet them all! Moulinet them all! Okay, get out of there. I feel like I am a true red mage because I feel like that degree of like gleefully Zoroing and Moulinet feels very red magey. I love it. I love red mage. That's the thing is I don't know that I'll ever want to play anything else. Because I love red mages so much. They're cool, they're stylish, they're dramatic, they are Zoros, also more Moulinet, they do backflips, they use really cool swords. Like, I had thought I wanted to be a bard because I liked music, but the thing is, bards and red mages are very similar. Like a D&D bard and a red mage, like basically a red mage is originally, like an original red mage is basically a D&D bard. Now, of course, we can do things differently these days and they both, but... Oh, I'm on a people mover! Amazing. Oh my god, I love those at airports. Okay, armored weapon, you don't say. Okay, so you know what I want to do? I want to run up behind it because I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake / Crisis Core. Okay, hold on. I'm remembering, I forgot to focus target last time, but I'm focus targeting now. It's one of those basic things that I don't always remember to do. Oh, it launched a thing at me. That's not very nice. I don't like that. Motion tracking. Sensory jammer. Is it blinding me? Oh, cool! Look at you go! Oh, you blew me up. I don't like that so much. Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking to you and I'll keep my stop! No! I don't want to be here. Don't do that. So close to a Zoro. Oh my god, there's so many of these. Do I Zoro or do I Moulinet? Oh! Ah! Okay. That was so satisfying. So satisfying! The most satisfying. So I need to remember that I have these other moves. I should also probably not do it. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, I got cocky. Sorry. I need to remember. Okay, so extreme caution means basically hold still. Got it. Okay. That was a nice one. I was about to get hit by something. I did not guess right. Okay. Like, are these things that I can wear? No, we're gonna pass on them. I learned to do that. That's part of how my inventory got so full, was that I didn't know how to do that. So when everyone else abandoned everything in the treasure chest, it landed in my over full inventory. My inventory is mostly full of dye right now for clothes. Oh, look at that. They've set things on fire over there. Like, I'm all on board with setting the Empire on fire, generally speaking, but this is maybe not a good idea in this particular circumstances. What? Just gonna fight a gunship with my sword. No big deal. How did I get so off balance? No! Don't! No! Oh, I got bombed. I did not want to get bombed. Oh, cool. Key card. We got the key card. Now we're gonna turn off the force field. Cool. Okay, so dungeons are a lot more linear than they were back in the day. I remember the first few dungeons, like you wander around all these rooms tracking down notes, and that's how you find the story of what's going on in that dungeon. Yeah, this music is a really cool, it's got like a cool reference to other little bits of like the Gridania area music. I'm gonna have to go yell about this to my pony friends after this, because they're also VGM fans, so. Oh my gosh, there's so many things! So many things! I want Moulinet so badly for this. No! Royalist. Hold on. Are we fighting? Oh, wow, we're fighting the Griffin's men. We're not just fighting the Imperials. That's interesting. This actually feels like this is a really dramatic and consequential thing to be doing, because going to war with the Empire is a really big deal. Like, the Empire, as far as I can tell, has largely not been successfully stopped by anybody. And so part of Eorzea's failure to perhaps save Alphinaud is partly also like, we can't take the Empire. But I think sooner or later we're going to have to take the Empire, you know? And I think Stormblood is probably going to be that. Oh, that's not good. No, that looks like an important and dramatic person. Who could it be? That's a Griffin, so it's the Griffin. What are you doing? Are you gonna turn into Nidhogg? If you turn into Nidhogg, I'm gonna be really mad at you. Just show us your face. Should we recognize you? Oh, it's the guy who cut Ramon's arm off! In my defense, the graphics have gotten a lot better. Oh, I am going to hit you so hard, sir. Oh my god. Okay, so he's one of those people that, like, that it's a good thing that they made you hate this character? Okay, I'm focusing targeting him. Oh, he's sassing, is he? I should have called that. I should have called that. I had all the information I needed to do that. Oh my god. I should have called it. I should have known.
I'll tear you limb from limb.
Yeah, like you did your best friend when you betrayed him.
For Alphinaud!
This is not for Alphinaud. I know that you can't trust anyone else to take care of Alphinaud, and I understand it.
You know.
This is not the way to do it. Goodness gracious me. Oh, God. Okay.
You like these?
I don't like this, sir. Okay, so this is everyone's... This is me getting away from everyone. Sorry. God, this is a song. This is actually super great because this song is super dramatic. But they can do that because we all have very strong feelings about Ilberd. Okay. So like, even though in a way like, oh, okay, hold on, sorry. I just realized what was going on. Thank you for putting the thing. I'm a little slow to notice, but I do eventually notice. Oh, I love this. This is so great. Sorry, I'm a little slow. Nobody's impressed with you. Actually, no. I should have known. I knew it. I had to know, like, who else is it gonna be? Who else do we know who's, like, absolutely dedicated to...
For Alphinaud!
That's so good. Is he actually gonna die here? Is he actually gonna die after this? But it's too late to put out the fire that he has started. It's too late. We can't undo what he's done. And so in a way, he's victorious even as he dies. Whoo! Whoo, boy! Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's so, like, obviously the answer, too. Like, obviously, like, of course it was him. Why didn't I call it, you know? It's perfect. Like, I didn't recognize his... Oh, I don't need this. Oh man, yeah, everything got pretty thoroughly wrecked. Thank you so much, Arone. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it. Enjoy your dinner. It's awfully late for dinner. Whew. I think I did really badly, but I think I did my best. I messed up a lot. I was pretty sloppy, but
You've beaten me, aye.
but he's not mad. He's not mad because he got what he wanted. He's willing to sacrifice himself for this. Yeah.
But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
So because they changed the voice acting studios, they were able to use his voice and not have you recognize him because he doesn't sound the same as he did the last time we saw him. Yeah. So you're gonna force us.
We did it! We showed the bastards!
This isn't going to be good.
Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense
accents.
when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
Yeah, you can tell because they've all been given a consistent accent that they don't sound like anyone else in the world. So they sound consistently like Alamegans. So even though they're wearing the clothing and they have like the label of which of the grand companies they belong to. So for those of you who aren't Final Fantasy XIV people, the grand companies, each of these colors goes to one of the 3 main city-states in the Eorzean Alliance. The Cold Dragon French Catholic place is separate and it's not one of these colors. But so these are all wearing the colors of those other countries. But we can hear in their accents, even though like we see their outfits and we see their names that would tell us that they are from those 3 countries. So we can hear in their voices that they're not, which is a nice detail.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea.
I don't think I know Laurentius, do I? Oh! Okay, because I knew that there was a Laurentius that I knew in obviously another game. Selling secrets into to the Empire. Recruited him into Crystal Braves as a chance to redeem himself. Okay.
They die that others may live.
What are you doing? He does not look very thrilled about this.
Attack!
7 hells. Do you hear that?
You saw it on my face, did you? I'm so bad with names.
How did they get here so quickly?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Stand
off.
your ground! For the resistance!
This isn't good. They die so others may live, huh? I'm really glad they're bringing back plot threads from earlier and doing good things with them.
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
So Final Fantasy XIV does make it very clear
Gods, help us. What are we thinking?
That people actually die.
The Empire's too big. Too powerful.
There are actually consequences for things. This is not a... It's a very colorful game, but it's not a big cartoony game in its story. It actually gets quite dark. There are a few storylines I don't think too hard about. About human trafficking, torture, death. It goes in some pretty dark places.
Mighty Rolger, grant us the strength.
Are they gonna summon a primal? Is that what they're doing? Is that what they're doing? Is that what they're doing? We're gonna force the humans to, well, the non-beast tribes to summon a primal. They've been kind of building up to that, so I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Should have figured he wasn't dead.
Ilberd, I should have known.
We should both have known Alphinaud. I'm disappointed in both of us.
This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand. You truly are a sheltered child, Leverrier.
He's just so awful.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
I did not put it... I was just saying, well, the Griffin has Nidhogg popsicle eyes. So the Griffin has Nidhogg and can turn into Nidhogg. Well, I hate Nidhogg, so I'm going to be mad when I say Ilberd. I'm already really mad at Ilberd. Nidhogg. Well played, Final Fantasy XIV. Well played. But no, but this is a success. I'm just, okay, dramatic moment. Give me a second here. This is a success. Because I'm super mad about this and super worked up because it's the culmination of multiple things I care about. Yes, as Blue Glass says, I am double mad. And that's very good. That means they've done a good job because they have had repeated villains and conflicts and stuff that I did not care at all about. And I was kind of concerned when we started going back to like main stuff. Like, what are they gonna do? Combine Ilberd and Nidhogg. I'm still mad at myself for not thinking that that was gonna be Ilberd. I even thought about him because I was like, well, Raubon is going to have to be involved because it's Alamigo. And there was that guy who betrayed us all and cut his arm off. Well, maybe he'll show up or something. Anyway, let's forget about him. Good job, Lauren. Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces.
Okay, quick catch up for Forest of Seasons. So most of what we did in like frozen elven Catholic France thing, there had been a 1,000-year war where like dragons just massacred the elves, and the elves like fought back and stuff, and it's like back and forth and lots of dying. Well, it was mostly because one dragon, Nidhogg, who absolutely would never, despite anything, no matter what happened, ever stop fighting. He was willing to sacrifice his children, he was willing to sacrifice his siblings, he's willing to like just kill and torture and maim and just like nothing but unending hatred. So dragons' powers are stored in their eyes. So when we finally defeated Nidhogg, who I hated so much, he was bad. and like got rid of his eyes so that he could finally die. But the eyes got thrown like kind of like off a cliff and got caught and are now in the hands of Ilberd, who betrayed us, undid everything, chopped Rabban's arm off, etc., etc. Excuse me.
My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite character. Yeah, no, Nidhogg just like wanted to just torture and torment them for all time because their ancestors wronged his sister. And betrayed. Like there was like a trust between the humans and the elves and the dragons. And then the elves way back when broke that trust. And so he decided for the next millennia he would torture their descendants. Yes, Esprit, you're correct. It was not a good idea. I don't know what else they could have done with them, but probably not that.
Take back our homeland. Free Alamigo. Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood.
This is not good.
You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
This is not good, Ilberd.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Something bad.
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Yeah. Primal time.
Summoned?
Yep. Yep, we knew this was...
You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power.
It is really cool to see Alphinaud as he is now, especially to see him against Ilberd and see how much he's changed and grown, largely due to Emmerich's influence.
Oh yes, I know their limitations, which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
That's Bahamut. They dropped the moon and Bahamut on the planet and destroyed it. That's how they nuked 1.0 and turned it into 2.0. I liked Alphinaud in a what a dumb child sort of way. He's fantastic and I love him, and he has grown so much and so consistently over the course of Heavensward that like he can no longer fill the role that he's in to the story right now because he's grown too much. So we have to move to somebody else who needs to grow a lot. So this is gonna be bad. Who's bigger than Bahamut? Like, Nidhogg is not a primal.
What? Here? Now?
That's not a primal.
Like hell you will.
Those are not even iron knuckles. What even are those, Ida? This isn't good. Even like the music, the instrumentation lets you know this is wrong.
To mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing. You shall have it all!
This is not good. Not good. Whoo! Sound design. Yeah. This isn't good. Something really terrible is going to happen. Something really terrible is going to happen. What is worse than Bahamut? I love Bahamut, but Bahamut is very scary. What is he doing? Some sort of lich? It's gathering the souls of the dead. Music's really cool. Yeah, Spree, yeah.
This light, is it...
Oh no, is it Zodiark? Is he somehow summoning some part of Zodiark, the Dark Crystal?
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
So this song is sung from the point of view of the light crystal spirit of the planet, or of being. And as we saw recently, they established very nicely for us that, I say this. They did a good job establishing shortly before this that you can make a summon more powerful if you use, like, bone and body, like, and flesh of sacrifices. Which is what is happening here and now. So there is the light side of the planet, the light crystal soul, and then there's the dark crystal soul, and this is probably not the best explanation, but this is what sticks in my head. And there's a lot of balance between light and dark, and I don't think those are primals. I don't think they can possibly.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do.
Papalymo, are you going to sacrifice yourself?
There is one thing.
You're going to sacrifice yourself. Yeah, he's going to sacrifice himself. He set this up. He said he was going to do this. He's got Louiso's staff.
Master Louisois briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
That did save the world, and Louisois did die. So Papalymo is going to sacrifice himself to try to...
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days.
Alphinaud, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Tipsamati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
You know, this is definitely not Bahamut, but it feels like it is, like, earth-shakingly bad. And not in, like, a Titan shakes the world sort of way, more like a... like fabric of the universe level of bad.
Don't you dare, Papalymo! I know how that spell works.
What else would you have him do?
It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, Ida! There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here, not like this!
They're gonna make me eat my words about him.
Take her! Please, you have to take her!
Bancred understands what's going on. He's not actually a dummy.
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
Do I have any power to change anything that happens here? I don't think I do. I don't think my choices ever matter in this game. That's a real question. I'm pretty sure this is a game in which you cannot change the outcome based on the choices that you make. They're usually quite superficial to make you feel as though you have some input. Okay. Okay, that was worth it.
I think he means now!
That was awesome. That was awesome. That was a really cool thing. It's the funny characters that they kill because you don't expect it.
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Because he's always been kind of played as, like, he and Ida are the comedy duo of the Scions. They're always bickering, playing off of each other, being silly and obnoxious and ridiculous. So he's not the one that I would expect to tragically sacrifice himself. I really like that, actually. However, I will now be looking out for that pattern. I guess it makes sense this is Ida's story. Ida having the loss would make sense. He smiles. You see Louis smiling as his magic works in the intro. Okay, you gotta have at least one more cutscene. You can't put me right into gameplay after that. I can't stop here, but I should. Okay. Let's talk to everybody a little bit and then we'll just finish up. Yeah, that was done without concern for the safety or health of his own people. Okay, so here Hilda is answering the question about the eyes. Yes. Thancred is actually a grown-up despite acting like a ridiculous person. Not even gonna voice act this scene. Yeah, actually, his face and the way that he acted, like having seen that cutscene before, they intentionally patterned the two together, I think. Thancred, stop trying to be a big tough guy. He's gonna big brother her. His big brothering is a thing he's got some experience in doing. Ah, that would make sense, Blue Blast. It's just that's a really big Ida moment. Whew. Will there be a point that feels like a good cutoff? Because if so, we will keep playing until we get to it, because this is a... Like, we can't stop in the middle of this. Okay, well, if you folks don't mind, I'm just gonna keep going. I feel like I have a hard time sticking to a 2-hour stream. Last quest of the patch, okay. There we go. I'm not always good at identifying what I see. Oh, does this mean we're going to be at Stormblood when we start up? Next week? Not quite okay. How come we couldn't call over our cell phones for this? Because of the Ascians, Alphinaud will figure that out eventually. Yes, Alice, that is the point. He did not hope to survive. You'll figure it out. Yep. Okay, he's totally figured it out. That's also reasonable. I feel like becoming more of a nerd and studying more in honor of your fallen friend is very appropriate for the Scions in general, but specifically for, well, Urianger definitely, but also I guess Happily Mo, who I never quite realized was, until he reappeared in this post-Heavensward content, hadn't realized quite how much he was supposed to be like the super nerdy nerd. So we're gonna figure out what Ilberd was summoning there. Is not good. Alice does not understand. That's a good name for that quest. School's out forever? What even is that? Okay, so that wraps this patch. Okay, because like I would be like, well, I'm not done enough. I need to keep going. This isn't a conclusion. Okay. I mean, it's like almost 11, so we've got an hour over when I would normally intend to end a stream. Oh, no, school's out forever. Like the school's been blown to pieces. Yeah. It's, yeah, because they do a lot of song titles. I didn't remember who that song was by, but I know it. I think it was on the Dazed and Confused soundtrack. How much longer will it take me to get through these last little bits? Because I feel like I'm not done. And I feel like... Another full patch. Oh, that I'm not gonna be able to push through that. A while. Okay, fine. Then I guess we'll start that next week. So what would normally happen if I were playing this on my own is I would be like, I'm not done yet. And I'd play for like an hour and I'd limp along for like another hour and then be like, I'm really tired and I have to do other things. I guess this isn't ending anytime soon and I'm not gonna get closure, and I'd be grumpy. My friends would be like, no, Lauren, it's a while before you're done with this. And I'd be like, fine, I'll just go to bed. So, okay. So tide you over till Stormblood patch. Yeah, no, the game's not going anywhere. Okay, well, I need a couple of minutes to like process what just happened. If you folks are okay with that. Technically, if we're going an hour over, then we've got 5 minutes left for me to have a thing. So that was a lot. That was a whole lot. I just got like a jingly sound. I don't know what the jingly sound was, but I got a jingly sound. Yeah. So like, oh, I got mail. Somebody sent me a package. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I just see there's a little mail up there. But yeah, do feel free to send me a friend request. I have a Flutie Pie's link shell. Is that the right word? That I can add people to if you want to. I haven't used it. I forget how to do that stuff very well. But you're welcome to, yes. Okay, so we're gonna get some friend requests. So I guess I should probably accept these before the end, before I log off. But yeah, feel free. L'Oreal Loala at Ultros. And I'm happy to friend request or accept friend requests for folks. But yeah, so that's. I'm glad that they did what they did with Papalymo, because if they were trying to build out, I think they're aware of the limitation of their characterization in A Realm Reborn. And I think that they know that work has to be done to really flesh out those characters. They did the work with the characters, like Y'shtola and Thancred were, I think, better done in A Realm Reborn. Good night, Forest of Seasons. Goodness, 5 a.m. Yes, go sleep. Well, I'm glad you could join. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good and restful day. But thank you for joining us. The Saturday streams might be a better, more convenient hour for you. Like, it's difficult to have to clean up to clean up a mess. And that's kind of what they've had to do is clean up after 1.0 and then also clean up after 2.0. And so they were able to flesh out Thancred and Y'shtola more over the course of the previous one. But because they need to have Ida be important here. Like, she needs to be central because this is the Alamegan storyline and she's the Alamegan character. So she needs to be one of our perspective characters that we get to know. But they can't have... I don't think I did, Dumbland, because I think I was going to give you some food and I messed up in trying to give it to you. Sorry. But so they would have to try to fix Papalymo and Ida at the same time. And also Papalymo and Ida did have an established interaction, which I think tonally doesn't suit a more serious story. Like, they're the goofy comic relief characters who are like messing around in the background while the serious characters are having serious story. When you try to pull one of those characters into a serious story, you kind of got your hands full if she's not only kind of inherently not a serious character herself, but also has this goofy, playful, like, it makes a lot of sense, like, narratively, they're giving Ida additional motivation and development. They're forcing a change to that dynamic in a way that doesn't involve breaking the characters' personalities. Just like they wanted to do something different with Thancred's personality, so they choose to have him, like, fall into grief and become more serious. So even when he mellows out, he can be different than he was in A Realm Reborn, and there's kind of that reason for him to change. Y'shtola, character-wise, personality-wise, is pretty consistent with how she was, but that's fine. But I think, I think that in order to make Ida be the sort of character who can help carry a serious plot, they needed to do something big to excuse changing her in a way that still feels like her. So it's not just that like the writers decided she has a different personality, so now she has a different personality. Retconning, basically. They don't want to retcon that sort of thing, but they like, you cannot build, like, this is why I was like, how are they gonna do this? She is not, I mean, even taking apart, like taking out of consideration my personal irritation with Ida and calling her hot pants because of it, even without my personal feelings in the matter, she's not the kind of character you build a big story on. Like, she just couldn't stand it. And I was just like, this is a really, it made, like, she needs to be the one to do it because of the pieces that are on the board right now, but she's not equipped to do it. So what they're doing here is relieving themselves of having to deal with fleshing out Papalymo more. Like, they've given us more of him now here than he's had in any of like the previous stuff, in my opinion. Like, there's more depth to him in these last little bits than there's ever been, which, I mean, that's how it is with everything post Realm Reborn. But they're also putting things in place to make Ida a better suited character for the role that they need her to be in. So now I can say I may very well like Ida as she is going to Stormblood because she is changing. And again, they're not retconning her. They're not making her a different person. But they are excusing, or not excusing, but they are basically buying themselves some space to develop her as a character in a way that she needs to be developed, so that she can live up to the standard, like the quality of characters that they built in Heavensward, which frankly up till this point she hasn't. Be able to carry dramatic storylines and become an emotional heart. They have to do stuff to make her do that, and I don't think that they conceived of her as that character when they first were like, oh, I guess we should have some scions, I guess they'll be like this. I don't think that they were like, and then she's going to be at the heart of a really important major story thing to do with like death, sacrifice, war, and rebellion. So they kind of have to fix her like that. But it is really interesting because Horschfont was the comedic character in Heavensward, which is why I never like, yeah, okay, kill Estinian. I figured that was going to happen. It didn't happen. I mean, I was shocked. Like, kill Isael, like, we all knew that it was very likely she was going to die. I kept thinking they were going to kill Emmerich. Or Lucia. Like, there were a lot of other characters that it could have been. I would never have guessed Horschfont. Because he's not the sort of character you would expect to have massive drama. Which is part of what makes it so effective. So, now I know a character being, like, the comic relief silly one does not give them plot armor. Yeah, like they intentionally make you think again and again. Even after that, they make you think Estinian's gonna die, they make you think Emmerich's gonna die, and it's Horschfont instead. Like, I love, and this is something I hope that I can eventually be able to do in my own writing, where you can have a thing happening and we see all the pieces once we look back, but you are meanwhile doing some sleight of hand to make us look over here. Yeah, like with Isael, like, I was sad, I was emotional, I cared, but I was also like, that is a fitting end. She would be okay with going on these terms. Like, this is satisfying for everyone, even she's okay with it. And when she showed up at the end to help save Estinian, perfect closure. Oh my god, I was crying so hard. It was so good. But it was some really good stuff there. So Papalymo here dying doesn't, in this case, they don't have to make you cry. They kind of, I feel like they know you're not going to cry. You're not that invested in Papalymo. You're not. Like, even if you don't dislike him, like I did for A Realm Reborn, like, you're not going to be that kind of invested in him. That's not the purpose of him dying. He's dying for a bunch of reasons, story-wise. He's dying for Ida's development, to change what's on the board so that they have new things to play with. And also, we begin to see more of Alice's inability to understand the people around her. And her kind of like short temper and impatience about that. So it's like, I don't know, it's really well done writing. It's very intentional. It's okay, Argatlum. Links are blocked, so we just see 3 asterisks, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't even remember Papalymo being ready to sacrifice himself in the past, but it would make sense if that's a thing. I don't remember that, but if that's a thing that happened repeatedly, then that's actually kind of a funny and interesting like little nod to that. But yeah, like there's just so much going on. This was a very good decision. Yes. Hold on, we're gonna accept all of the friend requests. Sorry. I would normally do this off stream, and I'm trying to do this quickly so that we don't have like my other folks popping up. I'll figure out how to do this better. But yeah, like when they did the Rocks Fall Everyone Die, I was like, this is the cheapest, like least earned, least deserved. I was furious. I was so mad. I was like spitting mad about that. Yeah, no, I remember that was after the banquet, and I was like, I don't even care. Go ahead, sacrifice yourself, you two. Like, I don't care about you. I was like, oh, I'm madder about Thancred and East Tola, but I was like, this is cheap, especially because I was playing through that section shortly after like the pandemic was hitting, and I was dealing with some personal stuff as well. And I was just like, I'm too emotionally fragile for this amount of pain you're putting me in, and you didn't earn putting me in this pain. So I was really angry. I was like, kind of, how dare you? This is not that. And none of the deaths in Heavensward were like that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I was very disappointed. I almost would consider that one of the lowest points of the game. Not because it itself was necessarily inherently bad, but because I felt like it was entirely unearned and undeserved. And was building off of things that it had not built. So, that's my thing. Because I was just like, you can't try to break my heart. You don't deserve to have my heart be broken by this. So, I was not pleased. Especially like the amount of death. Like when I say Rocks Fall Everyone Dies, I am mocking their decision there. I also understand why they did it, because they had to burn everything down so they could build something good, and I'm glad they did, because the Heavensward was good. But even if they like I was glad they undid it, kind of, because I was just like, it didn't work anyway. But yeah, I really like what they're doing with this, and I'm looking forward to seeing. It's okay, Rocket Love. Links, like I said, links get blocked here anyway, unless you're a mod, because we've had trouble with people in the past, and I find it safest just to leave that on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Ida. I'm ready to like her and find her an interesting character now. They have earned it. They have earned it, both by earning my trust over the course of Heavensward, and with the decisions that they're making so far, which I think are really excellent decisions. So, yeah. It's good. Yeah, I thought that people might not have all died. I thought they might come back, but I was like, I don't even care. I don't even care. I was like, I'm mad because I liked Thancred and East Tola, but I'm mad that I liked them when you didn't do enough to make me like them. And I try not to get like angry about characterization and angry about writing and stuff like that on stream, and I try to like be like, maybe this wasn't for me, but I actually think that there was a lot of bad stuff, and they were doing the best they could with what they had, and they had bad materials to work with, but yeah, no, it was super sudden. It was like kind of silly and ridiculous, but they wound up doing good stuff. Heavensward was good, and I believe Stormblood is good. So we've got 3.55 coming up next week. And then I guess that's the last patch, isn't it? Before we get to Stormblood. So we'll see if we can get through the whole thing next week. No, but I mean, like, Ishtola is really, she's a good character. She's the most interesting of the Scions. She's the only one who wasn't an archetype. Everyone else is like a very flat character. And I think she was less flat. So that's why she's the only one that didn't change. She's the only character from A Realm Reborn who didn't change, really, of the Scions at least. Which I think is I mean, it's good. She didn't really need to. They flesh her out more, but she's largely the same person. Everyone else has changed. They gave Thancred story reasons to change. They did more with Urianger, and we're like, no, we had cool stuff planned all along with him. Yeah. No, so even before I started, like long before I started playing this game, one of my friends who loves this game very much, I knew that Y'shtola was amazing because he would just go on at length about Y'shtola, and he's one of the people who loves Merlweb. I don't know if that's how you say her name. That's how I say her name. Sorry, she hasn't been in the game with good voice acting for long enough for me to learn how to say her name. Now you notice Alice is our quest giver for this next thing. We're switching over from Alphinaud to her because Alphinaud doesn't need to grow and develop. He was so good in this episode. So good. I like the lighting being more dramatic and darker in Heavensward. Something I noticed like immediately when I was walking around the Fortemps house. I don't even know what her surname is, but I mean, honestly, Urianger was really good. So last time I streamed last week, we got to see him threading his needle with the Warriors of Darkness, the Warriors of Light, Minfilia, the voice of the goddess or the crystal or whatever, all of that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, you're a good and interesting character now. Okay, I'm on board. So he's done quite well. And I had thought that he was not good or interesting. And then I was like, oh my god, is he betraying me? That's like the worst thing they could do. But then they did something good. And they redeemed both themselves and him. So I'm on board with that. I'm on board with that. The only characters that I really was hung up on, like, what were they gonna do? I was like, is Thancred gonna be a gloomy pants for the rest of the game? He's not, which is good. But I was like, what are they gonna do with Alphinaud and Ida? I can't think of anything they can do to make them better. And they're like, well, we'll just kill one of them. And I'm like, okay, fair. Yeah, no, I think the twins are great. And I'm really excited to see Alice catch up with Alphinaud emotionally over the course of the next expansion. And then who knows what happens, because we've only got 2 twins. And it's funny. I know how ridiculous what I just said is, because Alphinaud was the most immature baby in A Realm Reborn. And Alice was more mature than him there. And so, as evidence of how far he's grown, she looks even more immature by comparison. Yeah, I guess I still need to do the Bahamut's Coil stuff. I haven't done that one. I did the other one. Crystal Towers? I don't know that I finished Crystal Towers. I didn't go into the Void. But I really want to, because that's where the kid in the robe is from. Very invested in the kid in the robe. Yes, yes. Yes, we're gonna go into the Void next, which I'm super psyched about. Because that's a plot thread I'm really interested in. Because they gave me a character to care about and a conflict to care about that we heard all about last week and the week before, and I was like, let's talk about this light and darkness thing, and now I have feelings. Yes, Alphinaud is all of our sons. He is collectively our son, and he is great, and I'm proud of him. He is a good boy. Yeah, maybe we can go through Coil stuff before Stormblood? Maybe? Is that a good thing to do? Should we go through Coils before Stormblood because it's Alize stuff? So the fun thing about that quote, Desmea, is that I bet that anybody who's played this game, if they saw that quote, would be like, oh, so you mean Alphinaud, do you? Because obviously that's who it is. Huh, man. This is such good writing. This is good. This is good stuff. I like it. I like it very much. So what I might do, for those of you who sent me a friend's request, I will try to add you maybe to the link shelf for Flutie Pies, if you're interested. And then, if I'm going to be streaming, I can be like, Flutie Pies link shell, anybody going to be ready to help Lauren with the thing? We'll do that. Probably not immediately right now. Okay. Well, if you folks can be prepared to help me next week decide, like, okay, we're going to finish up 3.55 in like over the course of a week or two, depending on how long it is. And then figure out time-wise whether we should do Coil and or The Last of Crystal Tower, which I will probably watch the Crystal Tower cutscenes first. We'll go into the inn and watch those together so that I remember what happened. You know, but yay cake, then we can just be like, oh yay, the voice actors are better now. Aren't we glad that these aren't the voice actors anymore? But so we'll figure out if folks have any recommendations for me on the order in which those things should be done versus Stormblood. Because when we start Stormblood, we're going to do Stormblood, and I'm going to actually properly number my YouTube videos. And like actually treat it like I'm playing Stormblood. So all these weeks have been kind of my like sloppily figuring out how to stream Final Fantasy XIV, which I'm super glad that I did, because I have learned a lot. I've gotten much more comfortable. Like we're beginning to settle into who's going to be around and like how we might like pull together parties and things. Like it's working. So Stormblood will feel more ready to go. I feel so much better. Like if you remember how like nervous and awkward I was about the first stream, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I stream this game? I've got like 3 years of not streaming this game. What am I doing? But we're good. We're good. Well, Esprit, if they make it so that we can do cross data center things, we can have a party. We can have a cross data center party. I really appreciate it. This has been fun. There has been some good stuff. Which is great, and I'm really excited to be able to like yell about it, because otherwise I'm like sitting here like screen capping things and making sassy comments and sending it to my pony friends, just being like screen capping some dialogue and being like, oh yeah, Alphinaud. Hey Blues, yeah, I stayed up later. Oh, we should do Alexander. Yeah. Yeah. If it's a story-related thing, then we can do it on stream. If it's just like a fun thing, I'll do it with my ponies. But I do want to do the story stuff on stream, so we can figure that out. Yeah, we're going to be shutting down shortly. We went way over because we were wrapping up a patch. It was very intense. Somebody dramatically sacrificed himself. Yeah, people keep talking about Alexander, and I think the music is good. I don't know how Alexander compares to the Final Fantasy IX Alexander. Like, I'm like, is it going to be an entire city that turns into a summon? Because that would be really cool. But we'll find out. So we'll figure that out. Maybe we can talk about it on the Discord. Wait and see. Why don't I press it and see? Sorry, somebody was asking me about Symphony of the Night recently. And specifically the familiars. So I have to make fun of the voice acting in that game whenever possible. So if you want to join our Discord, you're welcome to. If you want to... No, I haven't. I haven't. But I have really cool ponies. So you understand, I played this game once a month for the first few years that I played it. And then I've upgraded to playing it once a week. And that's all. I have occasionally played it twice in 1 week. But yeah, feel free to reach out over Discord or social media if you want to be like, hey Lauren, I think you should do these things in this order. I am actively soliciting feedback on that. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. And yes, tomorrow is the start of Hades on this stream, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, so an hour earlier than this was. Yeah. And so if you remember Final Fantasy VII Remake, I didn't know anything about what happened in the original. Well, I know Greek myths. So this is going to be fun. Yeah, so there'll be more stuff coming along. Saturday during the day, my time, noonish, there'll be maybe music, maybe a tarot stream. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll keep playing this on Wednesday. Is it going to turn into a 3-hour stream? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I'm really excited to experience more stories and cutscenes and characters and stuff that are good in this game too, though. So I'm happy to be streaming it, especially because then when I don't know what's going on because I don't remember something from A Realm Reborn or because my memory's terrible, you all can be like, okay, now Lauren, that's that guy. And I'm like, oh, it's that God, I got it. Just have to get used to the dumb nicknames that I give everyone. But Ida might actually graduate from being hot pants. It could actually happen. Amazing. Ilberd. Well, the thing with Ilberd is like I didn't recognize his face, but then somebody said Ilberd and I was like, oh no, I know who Ilberd is. I know who Ilberd is. Yeah, I know who Ilberd is. And then, oh, what's his name? The Lolafil. Is that Lolorito? Oh my god. Oh, okay, Yurase, okay. I was trying to remember because I'm so bad with names. I was like, I know this is one of the, like, that is a name of one that I don't like. Anyway, yeah. There's some bad guys, people I don't like. People I don't like in this game, which is good. Because these are people I'm not supposed to like. Supposed to like characters that I'm supposed to like and don't like. That's funny and unsettling. Well, I might have to have like a bit of a refresher on exactly who did exactly what. But we can talk about that next week. Yes. Ugh. All right. I think I should make myself I was going to say I should make myself sign off, but instead I was saying I should make myself shut up, which is an essential part of signing off. I will just keep talking. We'll just make them both into potato salad. Problem solved. And on that note, my friends, good night. Thank you all so much for joining.